Hello. Welcome to day 28. My name is Kevin Owasu Itoye, and as usual, you are on my blog, Teach Yourself Test Automation. Right now, you should be well into what we are doing here, right? We're nearly done here. We've got a few other lectures, and then we're going to do some experimental end-to-end interview style automation scripts, right? So today, what are we doing on day 28? We're doing how to handle links in Selenium Webdriver. Okay, so let's jump straight into it, right? So today we're going to keep the video short, right? We're going to split this into two, right? So today we're going to talk about obviously how to handle links, but what we're going to look at is on a web page we can count how many links are on that web page. So we'll do that today, and then you could limit the scope on the web page where Selenium can actually concentrate and return the count of the number of links on that section you've limited it to. Okay, so we're going to do that as well. But tomorrow we're going to look on how to click on individual links today, but if there's time on that video, okay, because I want to keep this one short, right? So how to click on links, right? You can click on a link, but it's also how to navigate to multiple tabs and get the title of that web page, right? So if you have like 5 links and you go open all those 5 pages, right, in a different browser, and then go into those different browsers and grab each title of each browser. Okay, so you've opened 5 browsers, and then you go and grab the title of each browser, so you get 5 titles. Okay, so that's for another video. So today we are just going to see how to get the number of links on a web page, and on a web page as well, how to limit the scope where Selenium WebDriver can limit the scope to a section of that page and get the number of links from that section. Okay, so let's jump straight into Eclipse, right, and do some coding, right? So we go into our project, we will right click, we go to new, we go to class, and we want to call this, let's just call it links. Okay, right, let's go links, that's better. So you go public static void main, why no finish? It doesn't like that. Name is empty, right? Okay, so let's go links add. Okay, I might have called something that same name. Okay, so we just click finish. So we are on links add. So obviously I've been doing some naming conventions there. So we open another test case we've done before, and we want to copy our 3-line of common code to any test case we're going to be writing using Eclipse. We'll come out of that. We want to put our 3-line of code in here, and then we want to change this into our practice URL. Oh, it was already on Amazon, and I think it's Amazon we're going to use, right? That's it. So just copy that and put it in here. So if we go back to the Amazon website, so here, see, all those I think are treated as links, right? And so how do you determine a link on a page? So if we inspect this, right, so if this is a link, the tag name is going to be A. Okay, right, see, the tag name is A, so that signifies a link, right? Because A stands for anchor, right? You can read that on my blog as well, right? So how do we retrieve the number of links on this page? Let's dive back to Eclipse and find out. So we go driver dot find by, so we're going to find by tag name. So we go dot tag name, right? And then we want to just say, what does the tag name begin with? A, right? Now, because we are returning multiple links, there are going to be multiple links on that page, right? We want to say find LA WebElement, right? And then we say dot size, right? And then don't forget your semicolon, right? So that's it. That will return us a number of links on the Amazon web page, okay, website. But that will not return anything, right? So we want to know the number of links. We have to print that out on the console, right? We want to print it out on the console here, right? So let's go. So we say system dot out dot print line, right? And then just take away the extra. So now I want to close those brackets. So always watch your brackets, okay? So close those brackets. And now when we run this, we should get the total number of links on the Amazon website. Okay, so we say run. So this is just finding the size, the number of links on the Amazon website. And then after this, we would, go down to a specific section of the page and find links from that section, okay? So limiting the section of the web page that a WebDriver goes to look for links, okay? So I think that's already refreshed. That's it done. So if we go into the console, and it returned 0. Why does it return 0? Let's just run that again and see, okay? It's a bit confused. Because that code is correct. It's correct. So it's gonna be 0. We've seen 1 already. So something is not right. So that's okay now. I think that's refreshed. Now it's a whole bunch of target window closed. No such window. What have we got here? It did open the Amazon site, didn't it? Yes, it. No, it didn't. Let's run that again. Let's see what happens. So opens that. Opens the Amazon website. Has it refreshed? Right, and we'll come up with that. Yeah, there you go, 508 links, right? So I don't know what was happening there, that it returned 508 links, right? Now we're already on 8 minutes. So all we want to do now is limit the scope to which the WebDriver it goes to look for links, right? So if I show you, if we go back to this page, and we scroll right down, right? So we've got some links down here, right? So you've got how many links? Okay, let's look in this section, right? So this section, we want to display the number of links in this section, okay? So if we just, anywhere on this section, just inspect element. And then if you go into the HTML code, we want to hover over the HTML code to see which section returns that, you see? So if we hover on this, we get that total section, right? So what can we use here? I think we can use class, right? So if we copy this, and remember how we can turn that class into a CSS selector, right? So Control F, right? And we just want to put a a dot or full stop or dot, whatever you want to call it, in front of that class name, okay? And then we want to take away any spaces, and then we put another dot, right? So that's highlighted, right? So this is our CSS, right? So this is what we're going to use to count the number of links in this section of this page, right? So now we're descoping the page using descoping the page for WebDriver to only look at this section, okay? So we'll go back here. So we want to say driver dot find element, go by dot, so it's CSS, right? then I want to go open close, right? And then we want to put it in there, right? And then we want to put our semicolon, right? So as it is just now, right? This is just find an element, right? So we want to make this into a web element, right? So what we do is we do change this into a web element so we can localize it, right, as a driver, and use that localization to find the links in that particular location, right? So web element, and then give it, you can give it any name, right? So we just say, would say footer equals, right? That's a footer. We just called our so we've turned this into a footer object, right? A footer web element object. That's the way to do it, to say it, right? So don't forget to import your web element. Now we have localized, we have shown we have used a WebDriver and localized to that particular section of the web page, right? All we want to do now is again return the number of links. So we just copy that same line of code and put it in there, right? So we've set the object web element and we've localized it by putting this in a web element and setting footer as our object, right? So, and then we are returning our count. Okay, so let's just run this again. So we are expecting lesser than 500 odd, right? 500 odd links. I think in that section there's about, count it, right? Just to make sure. So if this is adding any value to your learning Selenium Webdriver with Java, you know, subscribe to the channel, engage, show your appreciation, give me instant feedback, tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm not doing right. If you don't understand anything, just go over my blog, and it's just practice, practice, practice. So let's check this out, right? Let's check this out. Close this. Oh, it still gives us 500 plus, right? I see what we've done, right? Instead of using the driver, we've just set, right? So we set footer as an object, right? Instead of using this footer as an object, we've gone and used driver, right? So if we just change our driver into our footer, right? So now that actually localizes that area where WebDriver has to go and look at, right? So sorry about that, my fault. So let's just run that again quickly. Sorry about that. We're just doing what I just did there was exactly the same up there. So we did not localize the page at all. Now we've localized it and it should run and it should be okay. So thank you for your engagement so far. Thank you for your subscription. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified on future releases of videos, right? So we're going to do Selenium. Next we're going to look at setting up an automation framework, right, using Selenium, right? So after we're done with the scripting part, okay, so let's drive back in here and see 30, right? Now if we go back to that page, and I think just roughly looking at this is 30, right? So you want to count? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30, right? So 30, right? So next the next video we'll look at clicking onto this individually and trying to open them into separate windows, right, or separate tabs, right, and then using iteration to, yes, first of all iteration and then iterator, yeah, now to display the titles of each of those tabs, right? Okay, so that's for next video. So thank you for your engagement again, and please keep your skill sets up to date, okay? Just because I am passionate about this, right? I'm passionate about this, and there's a whole story behind it, and I will get to tell you the story sometime soon, okay? So again, thank you for for the engagement, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Okay, and that's me out. Thank you. Bye.